Look, our circumstances are slightly different. I was elevated a week or two after having the fight. Like, it could have just very easily been put on the line if Alexander Usyk wasn't holding on to the belt. But for me, this is the all-crowning, all-coming-together moment of hearing and still in the ring, having that belt handed to me, being awarded, having my hand raised on the...
Seek and destroy, you know. I'm ready to turn up, man.
I hope he's in the best shape of his life. I hope he's trained hard. The team have got the game down to a T, and I hope he's coming to bring a fight.
Shock erupted at the weigh-in face-off as Fabio Wardley reportedly slapped Daniel Dubois during a heated exchange, leaving the room stunned. Security stepped in immediately, while Dubois refused to back down. Tensions exploded as both camps clashed in a moment that completely changed the atmosphere of Fight Week.
I'm gonna show up. He's facing Daniel Dubois. Let's see what he's got. Talking style.
Fabio Wardley is breaking this down with brutal honesty, comparing Daniel Dubois to other names and questioning whether he has genuinely improved or just stayed the same fighter with power and size. He is basically saying experience alone is not enough if the development is not visible. At the same time, it shows Wardley's confidence in reading Dubois' style and believing there are gaps to exploit in a real fight situation.
Justice Hooney, for example, is a better boxer than Daniel. He has better hand speed, combinations are put together, his footwork is better. Joseph Parker, for example, the run he was on prior to me beating him is better than the run that Daniel's been on. Like, you can't mark that.
Let me ask you, you've shown that you've got a good chin. Now excuse the words, but understand the meaning. If you hang your chin out in the way you did against Hooney and Parker, against Daniel Dubois, you're in trouble.
Maybe, but maybe not. He was landing shots to a T on Joe Joyce and they didn't have no effect. He's had plenty of
Long
fights
time
with
ago.
fighters.
Long time ago,
but what, has he come on? Has he suddenly put on 20 kg of mass? Is he suddenly punching 50% harder? Like...
Fabio Wardley comes across calm but sharp here as he explains his earlier comments without backing down from the energy behind them. He keeps the humor angle, but you can feel Daniel Dubois' frustration building in the background. The whole exchange shows how quickly banter in boxing pressers turns into real tension when pride gets involved.
This is a question for both of you. Either one of you can jump in if you want to.
No, I'm sure Daniel's got loads to say.
Don't be facetious, Fabio. Don't be facetious. We've heard a lot about landlords in this division. Are either one of you two going to be landlords, or are you just squatters waiting for Moses Atoma to come along and take possession?
Over to you, mate. Do you want to start that one?
One fight at a time. I get through this guy and then whoever else next.
Want to jump in?
Yeah, look, one fight at a time.
Okay, all right. So potential squatters then. Fabio, you called him a bin man, and then you try to dress it up, you facetious sod, as a compliment. Why'd you call him a bin man?
I'd ran out of good answers, I'll be honest with you. They asked me about 6 or 7 other fighters beforehand. I said Tyson Fury would go work at Butlins. I said Chisora would be working with donkeys or something. Like, I ran out of good, funny answers, so all I had left for him was a bin man. I don't know why it's upset him so much. I didn't say it was a bad job. It's a good respect.
Daniel Dubois is speaking with real frustration and intent here, shutting down all talk and pushing straight into fight mentality. He looks like a man trying to prove a point after hearing constant doubts and rumors. The emotion is high, but it also shows the pressure he is under to deliver when it matters most.
And we've got rumours that you put him to sleep in sparring. This is a perfect fight for you. This is an easy night's work, isn't it?
No, I'm ready for a fight. I've trained hard. I'm ready for a war. Let's go, man. The talking's done now. Let's fight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Tony Bellew breaks down Fabio Wardley as the more adaptable fighter with different ways to win inside a fight. At the same time, he warns that early pressure can shift momentum quickly if an opponent starts fast. It paints Wardley as dangerous but still human, someone who can be tested if the pace is forced early.
I'm not going to lie, guys, you can take that confidence away from him within the first 3 minutes of the fight. And if you come out, start strong, put him a strong jab on him, you can get a reaction at him, and you can diminish his hopes, really.
Fabio Wardley is clearly trying to defuse the situation while still standing by what he said, but Daniel Dubois is fully taking it as disrespect and reacting emotionally. It shows how personal this rivalry has become, where even small comments are turning into fuel for anger and motivation heading into a heated showdown.
If Daniel Dubois wasn't a boxer, I think he might just be like a bin man or something like that.
And by the way, Fabio, I heard you call me the dust man, and I'm gonna collect the trash, boy. I'm gonna collect that trash. Nah, it's disrespect, so I'm gonna put it right in the ring, boy. I'm gonna bust his bubble anyway. That's what I gotta do.
I didn't call you the dust man. Someone asked me what you might have as a job, and I said might be a bin man. There was nothing negative with that. Don't let other people get in your head and tell you what it comes across like.
I heard what you said.
You didn't hear what I said.
You said.
You didn't hear what I said because you don't run your own social media.
All right, I heard.
So you didn't hear it. You let other people talk to you and tell you what you
I heard
should
what
be
you said.
like. And it wasn't like that. I just got asked what job you might have, and I said a bin man. I didn't say it was a bad job.
George Groves is clearly leaning towards Fabio Wardley here, mainly because of momentum and current form. He paints Wardley as the fighter moving forward, while Daniel Dubois is stuck trying to rebuild after highs and lows in his career. The mention of Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk shows Dubois has already been tested at elite level, but also exposed. This creates a narrative where Wardley feels like the fresher, more confident option heading into this clash.
I think Fabio Wardley, I think I'll make him the favourite. Like, if that's as close as I can go to picking a winner, I'm going to make him the favourite.
Yeah.
Just because of momentum right now. Dubois, he climbed his mountain against Joshua. He then fell off the mountain against Usyk.
Yeah.
Let's see if he survived the.
Paul Smith is pointing towards Daniel Dubois' mentality in tough moments, suggesting there have been fights where he has taken a step back when the pressure rises. He is careful not to call him a quitter, but highlights patterns that raise questions under elite pressure. In a fight like this, those moments matter because Fabio Wardley will keep coming forward. It becomes less about talent and more about who can stay composed when things get uncomfortable deep inside the ring.
But that, as a result, might alter the way he thinks as well. When things get hard, you know what? I'm not saying he's a quitter. It's never been that. It's just what I've seen in fights when it gets really hard and he's got up and walk back to his corner when he probably could have got up on that 8 and go again. But listen, he is what he is. And
Ade Oladipo treats this as a genuine 50-50 fight, stressing that both men carry real knockout power and confidence. He acknowledges Fabio Wardley's resilience, but also gives Daniel Dubois credit for toughness that people often overlook. However, the key issue he highlights is timing, with Dubois coming straight off a loss and jumping immediately into a high-risk fight. That decision shows bravery, but also adds pressure, because there is no easing back into form at this level.
It's a great matchup. It's a great matchup. Both have power. Fabio has this resilience. I think Dubois has a bit more resilience than people are giving him credit for. I saw that against Jarrell Miller. I saw it in spots against Hrgovic. Both are confident. The issue, I guess, for Dubois is that he is coming off a loss. I think we sometimes forget that. But I like the fact he said, you know what, fuck it, let's jump straight in with a big one. There is no, okay, you know what, let's have a 10-round warm-up fight against someone ranked number 30 to get my confidence back. No. Let's go straight in there. Who's got a belt? Who can I fight? And I love that attitude.
Ade Oladipo explains how Fabio Wardley has grown since becoming world champion, suggesting even a small percentage improvement makes a huge difference at elite level. He references the Joseph Parker fight to show Wardley's ability to survive tough moments and still secure the win. The key message is consistency and finishing ability. Wardley may not always dominate every round, but he finds a way to win, which is exactly what separates contenders from true champions in heavyweight boxing.
have you guys ever sparred each other?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah? How long ago? What are we talking?
7 years, 8 years maybe.
Do you both remember that?
Mm-hmm.
How did that sparring go? Not that that means anything come fight night. It's a long time ago. You're a different fighter. You're a different fighter. How did that go?
I went well, but in the early days, he got the better of me.
Yeah?
I'll say that. I got no problem with that whatsoever.
Do you remember those sparring?
Yeah, it's just like he said. He's come on since then now, so.
We've grown a lot since then for both parts. I'm nowhere near the fighter I was that many years ago. And in the fights he's had, he's grown and changed and adapted as well. Like, you have to. Like, if you want to stay at the high level of this game, that's what you have to do. But even in them, like you say, in those 7-8 years I've changed, but not just that, even in the last 2-3 fights I've changed. I've grown, developed, got better, adjusted, changed, weathered storms, figured it out. Like, I've gone through milestones, and you can watch them from fight to fight to fight, the adjustments I make. So all I'm proving is that I'm constantly learning, and that I'm
Don Charles reflects on a very emotional and complicated split, showing how much behind-the-scenes tension surrounds Daniel Dubois' camp. He respects the relationship he had with Dubois and his father, but clearly feels the timing of the change was difficult to accept. Even without bitterness, there is frustration in how quickly things shifted before a major fight. This kind of instability can affect any fighter's preparation, especially at heavyweight level where focus and trust in the corner is everything going into a fight of this magnitude.
Privately, Daniel's father in particular, he recognized what I've done for Daniel and the father. And I too recognize what they done for me as a coach. So it's a mutual thing. Like I said, it was a sudden ending, and that doesn't sit well with me in the way that it ended. I haven't got this entitlement that I must be Daniel Dubois' coach.
No, fair enough.
But the timing of it, when 48 hours prior to me being dismissed, sacked, the conversations I was having with Daniel's father didn't suggest, no, that's the only thing that doesn't sit well with me. But like I said, I've digested it, I've acknowledged it, accepted it, processed it, and I've accepted it, and life.
Dominic Ingley breaks down Daniel Dubois as a dangerous but unpredictable heavyweight who can suddenly explode in fights when least expected. He highlights Dubois' punching power and toughness, but also stresses that Fabio Wardley must start fast and disrupt his rhythm early. The comparison to Anthony Joshua shows Dubois is not easily intimidated, even on big nights. The description of his style as rough and aggressive reinforces the idea that this is not about finesse but survival, toughness, and who imposes their will first.
You know, Dubois kind of sometimes pulls it out when he's least expected, and I do feel he is a better boxer. He's a very hard puncher, and you know, Fabio's got to get hold of him early and kind of really take him out of his comfort zone early on. But he wasn't intimidated by Anthony Joshua, Dubois. You know, he's a strange one, Fabio, isn't he? Because he's kind of, it's like guerrilla warfare when you're watching box. It's not, you know, sometimes it's not pleasant to watch in the sense of boxing, but as a fight and a brawl or whatever, and pure determination and being an animal.
Fraser Clark points towards clear evolution in Fabio Wardley's overall boxing ability, especially defensively and in ring maturity. He suggests Wardley is becoming a more complete fighter after learning from tough fights like Huni and Parker. The key difference he highlights is emotional control, where Dubois can sometimes be overwhelmed by pressure moments. This contrast sets up an interesting clash of development versus raw fundamentals, where Wardley's growth and adaptability may be tested against Dubois' natural strength and base boxing skills.
I think Fabio will know himself. He only has to look at his face after most of the fights. You know, he's marked up a lot. I think his defence has had to get better, or needed to get better. But I do think off the Huni fight and the Parker fight, I'm seeing the development of Fabio Wardley as a boxer. I think he's improving in most departments, to be honest. So I think he has bridged that gap, whereas Daniel, I've always thought, has got very solid base.
Johnny Fisher gives a blunt and critical view of Daniel Dubois, questioning his technical boxing skill while acknowledging his physical toughness. The focus here is less on power and more on whether Dubois has enough boxing IQ to trouble elite opposition consistently. While harsh in tone, it reflects a common debate around Dubois' career, whether his raw strength can overcome technical limitations. In a fight like this, those opinions become pressure points, especially against a fighter like Fabio Wardley, who thrives in chaotic exchanges.
You know, Daniel Dubois, he just can't really get right. You know, he has no real skill. Pretty durable chin. Art is kind of questionable. But
Fabio Wardley openly discusses psychological warfare, suggesting he believes he can break opponents mentally over time. He praises the toughness needed to even survive against him, but then shifts focus to Daniel Dubois, implying there are past moments where Dubois has mentally folded under pressure. That creates a psychological narrative heading into the fight. Whether true or not, it adds tension, because in heavyweight boxing, mental strength often decides as much as physical ability when punches start landing.
if you're an opponent lining up for Fabio Wardley, you look at him and go, to make him quit, one, I don't know if it's possible, and two, if it is, it's going to be one hell of a challenge. With Daniel, you'll go into a fight with Daniel thinking, if I do some things right here, I've seen it not once, not twice, but 3, maybe even 4 times of him kind of tap out of the situation. So if that's in there, that's in there. You can get it. You can pull it out with someone. You just need to go about the right things to get it. So you're already giving your opponent a psychological advantage going into the fight, because whether you say, oh no, I'm over it now, or I'm past it, or I'm not going to do it, well, evidence suggests that actually the opposite. So yeah, it could be problematic.
Johnny Fisher gives a blunt and critical view of Daniel Dubois, questioning his technical boxing skill while acknowledging his physical toughness. The focus here is less on power and more on whether Dubois has enough boxing IQ to trouble elite opposition consistently. While harsh in tone, it reflects a common debate around Dubois' career, whether his raw strength can overcome technical limitations. In a fight like this, those opinions become pressure points, especially against a fighter like Fabio Wardley, who thrives in chaotic exchanges.
And as you know, in heavyweight boxing, unlike any other weight division, you're one punch from victory, one punch from disaster. So it's not a question of the first one to land, because Dubois, there isn't enough lateral movement. You can only teach him so much. Dubois he's been to the top of that tree. He's tasted world title success. He knows what it is to be a world champion. You can't really improve when you've been a world champion. I mean, you never stop learning, but it's whether you can actually take that and put it into action. For me, there's not enough movement from Daniel Dubois, and once those bullets start getting fired, then mate, once those shots start coming in, boy, someone's getting knocked out. It's gonna be, you know what, their styles are gonna blend so well, because like I say, they're both punchers. They both box reasonably well. They both got reasonably good stamina. And, as soon as that bell goes, mate, don't blink. Don't blink. It's going to be, boy, you know what, like I say, I'm quite excited about that one.
Fabio Wardley openly discusses psychological warfare, suggesting he believes he can break opponents mentally over time. He praises the toughness needed to even survive against him, but then shifts focus to Daniel Dubois, implying there are past moments where Dubois has mentally folded under pressure. That creates a psychological narrative heading into the fight. Whether true or not, it adds tension, because in heavyweight boxing, mental strength often decides as much as physical ability when punches start landing.
Tables being flipped in this, but also can sense a tension between two guys, one a champion, one a former champion, and two guys that I think generally can hurt each other from the very first bell. So this is going to be a dangerous one. Do we get a nice handshake between the two of you?
Of course.
Fabio Wardley openly discusses psychological warfare, suggesting he believes he can break opponents mentally over time. He praises the toughness needed to even survive against him, but then shifts focus to Daniel Dubois, implying there are past moments where Dubois has mentally folded under pressure. That creates a psychological narrative heading into the fight. Whether true or not, it adds tension, because in heavyweight boxing, mental strength often decides as much as physical ability when punches start landing.